of these guys show up at important moments. Recently, I've charted 26 sightings in the past 3 months.
Why now?
Peter and I were in a car crash.
In a frozen lake, when I was a boy.
He dove in and saved us.
September has clearly been assigned to...
He's their charge.
Yeah. Walter or Peter or Olivia. It's unclear at the moment, but clearly his responsibility is
Our group.
Our group. In the August episode, clearly Walter, seeing the observers here, gets really nervous, and there seems to be some underlying sense of dread that he has a bill to pay, basically.
Please don't take my son. Your friend and I had a deal. We had an arrangement.
And if you keep watching, you're going to find where that all came from. We said when we set out this season that this was going to be a show that we weren't going to just tease people constantly with mystery, and that we would answer questions, and that ideally those answers would lead to more questions. Having said that, there are still some things that we're sort of planting and letting percolate under the surface that we will deal with as we go down the line. One of which is we have seen a few times, dating back to early last season, a repeated pattern of colors or lights. It may or may not have a meaning. It may or may not be a meaning that we're going to deal with right now, but it seems to be centered around the observers.
Can I help you?
There was a character who was never called by name on camera, and some of our actors in interviews or whatever have referred to him as the Rogue. That is how his name appeared in the script. Rogue what? We'll find out. His eyebrows are probably fake, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's an observer.
He has his own subterfuge.
Yeah. I think that the observers might be a little bit too limited if they were from our side or the other side. I think the observers, as we've said, are observing, and I think that they're observing a lot more than just our two sides.
You know, they're difficult to sort of put into a context that I think people can understand without seeing episodes in the future that will give you a better ability to put into context.
We have interfered before.
Only to correct a mistake of our own making.
One of our favorite things about Harry Potter is that each one of those books tells its own story.
Yeah.
And the story builds, and by the time you get to the last book, you realize that there were things set up in the first book, and that the last book couldn't have been told without things set up in the first book. And I think that we're, hopeful that there will be many more seasons of Fringe, and that the observers will take on a more and more meaningful role as we go on. But right now, it's sort of like the infancy of their story.